Hey guys, it's February 23rd. It's about, 9:30 or something. It's beautiful out in Iowa. It's already 40 degrees. Pretty unheard of for this time. Just got done with my crop insurance meeting and work on the planner for a little bit before we leave to go to Mexico for a week. But haven't given an update on the planner, so I figured we'd go through some of the stuff we've done and go through setting a unit up. Don't mind the mess in here. It's kind of work in progress, but an 8630 puller planer since we loaded up with fertilizer. We're sandblasted some rims, got them primered, still one to go, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna sandblast these tanks, some of the rust off of them, get them painted. We'll go through and we'll polish all of the tin work and get the screens all cleaned up, and we're actually gonna paint these black. And we'll upgrade to LED lighting if we get time. This one's almost done. We got Hydro Boost system mounted to the planner. We're gonna run all our hydraulics and everything but the mainframe control. Got our tanks all on. That's row cleaners and the 360 bandits on. Still got to do all the plumbing for that stuff. And we still need to put on some drag chains and drive chains. But we're gaining. Got the hydraulic drive on. Working on some of the plumbing for the air. We still got a bunch of wiring harnesses and controllers to put on yet, and all the insecticide stuff. There's always a dog that needs attention. This is Diesel. Call him Mr. D's or Mr. Fluffy Man. He always needs attention. Okay, so I said I was going to go through some of this stuff on how to set openers and the other stuff. I already put on my seed tube guard. It was pretty simple. Slide them on, put the roll pin in. Got those from Shoop. They seem to be just as good as the deer ones, in my opinion. So we're going to put the Keaton seed firmer on. It's a pretty simple deal. Let's take it apart, slide it over, hook the hook over the seed tube hook, and grab the screws. It takes 3 screws. One there, here. I got a little ratchet with a number 2 Phillips. Don't mind the dog that just gagged. And the firmer itself, run the hose up through the top where the seed tube meter goes. Just push it in. That's all it takes for those. Okay, we're gonna do the disc openers now. Got all these little shims. I've done the rest of them, so I have a vague idea of what I need. Been running 5 on one side and 6 on the other. That seems to give on most of them, gives the right contact point on the blade. So another thing I like to do is I'll get a bolt that's about roughly this one's like a little bit over 1.5 inches, which that's what I'm going for my contact point. So we'll get started. I'll get these on and I'll show you how to check them. One thing to remember is that, and that's, I don't know which one. One of them's backwards from what you'd usually tighten. They always tighten to the front. That way they don't come loose. Okay, 2 business cards. I like to rotate them a little bit, get them all situated. Gonna take these 2 business cards. I'm gonna slide one down and one up. I'm gonna take my bolt. You don't want to press them in very far. So these ones are set perfectly there, but I like to check in 2 to 4 spots. So I'll rotate it. Good. It's a little wider than I'd like, but I can't really change that. And that one's pretty much right on the money there. I'll go ahead and we'll rotate it a little bit more and check it again. Make sure don't have a spot that's not enough, which looks like we're good. So worked out again. I'll go back through and just double check, make sure they're tight. Then we'll move on to the next thing. Okay, we'll go through how to set these. And remember, they always run all the way up here. The way I like to set them is I just want them to be touching. That's a little bit too tight. I don't like when they stick up. So we're gonna go ahead and loosen this one up just a little bit. So, you take your ratchet. I'll take a crescent wrench. We're gonna turn this. This moves. You can see it going in and out. So we were too tight. So we're just gonna move it out just a little bit. We're gonna tighten it up. Looks like we still need to go a little bit more. That's a little bit better. Okay. So got it so you can just hear it rubbing. Gotta make sure you keep this gap closed. That way you don't get any dry dirt in your seed trench and mess up your even emergence. Just want to take just a little minute to talk about planters and stuff. And some people will say, oh, the technology isn't worth it. It is totally worth it. You get one chance to plant, one. And it's got to be perfect. I spend hours and hours going over my planter to give me the best possible chance at the biggest yields we can get. Being a small farmer, you have to really look at all the small details, and that's how you can keep going another year. It may not seem like much to some of the bigger guys, but for the smaller guys that are trying to grow their operation and aren't content with what they have, pay attention to the small details. Try new things. Get new things. You don't have to buy brand new. You can buy used stuff. Just be careful what you buy. You know, talk to some of your fellow farmers, ones you have good relationships with. Talk to dealers, precision guys. Very fortunate. I have an awesome precision guy that, you know, he's not really there to sell me all new things. I do buy some stuff new, but you don't have to. You can buy used stuff and get away with it. We were going to buy Conceal from Precision to band our nitrogen and decided that really wasn't in our budget. So that's why we ended up finding these Bandits. They were used. Dad drove to Nebraska to pick them up. And they're good enough that they will show us if there's an ROI on having them and banding nitrogen. You can't be afraid to try new things. So that's going to conclude our video for this week. We're currently in Playa de Carmen, Mexico. Enjoying some sunshine before planting season. Still got a lot to go on the planter, but we'll get it done. Have a great week, guys.